Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello and welcome to my channel. So I'll be doing another tutorial today. I'm still in my quarantine hotel in Taiwan. Yesterday I did the marble painting tutorial. So today I decided to do another tutorial because I'm just here inside my hotel room. I've already I've already done my assignment for tomorrow. So I have the rest of the day for anything that I want to do. So I chose to, of course, paint and do a painting tutorial for all of you. So today we'll be doing a Monstera painting tutorial. I've done several not several, maybe a few only, a few Monstera painting tutorials and some leaf painting tutorials. So I'm gonna link them down below in the description box so that you may access them easily. So I'm gonna be using the following colors for today's painting, and those colors, the colors that I'll be mentioning will be listed in the description box below, so don't worry if you think that I'm doing the introduction quite fast. So we will be using primary blue, lemon yellow, black, burnt sienna, and titanium white. So those are the only colors. Besides, I only brought with me the primary colors and burnt sienna, black, and white since I traveled to Taiwan. So I'm gonna sketch first the subject. So I'm gonna wet my brush. This is just an ordinary small flat brush. You don't have to worry too much about the kind of brush in sketching. So I'm gonna use green. So since we're doing a leaf painting today, I might as well use the color green. Since I don't have color green, I'm just gonna mix my blue and yellow and add a little bit of burnt sienna to tone down the color. So okay, let me sketch first the subject. This sketch is just a rough guide for us to identify where the leaves are gonna go, where the leaf is gonna go. Okay, I'm just gonna wet my brush because it's quite dry. The background color for this painting tutorial is black. So we'll be doing some black background later, but that would be later. I chose to do first the subject before the background because we'll be using more surface area for the subject more than the background. For me, it's a waste of paint if we did the background first. Don't you think so? But of course, if you have your black canvas readily available, it's all right. You can use that directly, or you can use that straight away. You don't have to use a white canvas just like me. So just continue sketching, all right? That's basically the sketch of this monstera. We'll be doing some droplets today, water droplets. It's raining here in Taipei. It's been raining here since my first day here. But the good thing is, not that it's a good thing that it's raining, but the good thing is I don't have to um, long for the outside world because I'm still in quarantine. So I really don't have to long for the outside world, the outside or the surrounding areas of the hotel because it's raining. So I can stay here inside my hotel room and just chill and paint. So that's why I think it's a blessing in disguise, you know, that I have a reason to stay indoors. All right, okay. So we're just gonna underpaint first the leaf. It's quite nice. I like it. And I'm gonna use dark green. So just mix the color green that we already have here and add a little bit of black. So I'm gonna change my brush because my brush is quite small and I want some good coverage, meaning wider coverage when I slap on some paint on the canvas. So I'm gonna use a wider brush for that. I'm gonna wet my brush and as I said, just use your dark green. This is the underpainting. You can actually underpaint your leaf brown if you want, as long as it's a color that is more dark than the green color, okay? So I'm gonna use some dark green, okay, and I'm just gonna underpaint. The size of my canvas paper is A3 for those who would like to know. I don't really mention the size of my canvas because I don't want to force anyone to buy a canvas similar to mine. Just use the canvas that you already have or any surface material that you would like to paint on. Okay, all right, so just use some dark greens. Since this is the underpainting, as I always tell my viewers, it should be dark and definitely not the actual color of the subject. This is just to serve as the undertone, the other word for the underpainting. So just continue underpainting it with some dark green. Okay, some dark green. I love how buttery my paint is today. Maybe it's the weather. It's quite cold today because of the rain. Okay. Just continue doing this until you've covered the whole leaf sketch. Just a few more bald spots. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to the existing dark green that I have here. And I'm just gonna color this tiny leaf, okay? It's like the baby Monstera, okay? Already popping out. And I'm gonna use the same color for the stem of this tiny leaf. It's alright if you don't get everything clean yet, because we'll be doing the black background, and the black background will erase all those unnecessary lines outside our sketch line. So without washing my brush, I'm just gonna dab onto my black, because you know, if we mix this color with the black, it will just overpower it. The black will overpower any yellow or green. It will be it will look like as if there's no other color with it. All right, so I'm gonna use my black and carefully go into those tight spaces so that we background the painting already. So we take advantage of this time when the paint is still dry, still wet. The underpainting for the leaf, we take advantage of this time. This is the time to underpaint, to do the backgrounding. Okay, here. It's really raining outside. Right? Just a few more bald spaces. Okay, I hope you can still see it, even if the green and the black are almost of the same shade, right? But trust me, it's gonna pop out later. Did I say pop out? It's gonna pop up, something like that. All right, so again, just a few more bald spaces to fill in. Okay, I'm gonna wet my brush a bit. Okay, yes, we're done with underpainting everything and backgrounding. Okay, of course, you can always go back to your painting and fix the background and the underpainting while you're still at it. But once we do the detailing, the underpainting will be painted over, a lot of it. Okay, so I'm just gonna wash my brush out. I want to remove the black paint from the paintbrush. Okay, now I'm gonna use some light green color. So remember when we used the green here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of white and yellow as maybe necessary. So I'm not changing any color green. We're still using the same green, only that we'll be changing the value. Some will be light green, some will be a little dark green, but not as dark as this one, all right? So I'm gonna get some green, remember the color that we used for this one. I'm just gonna add a little bit of yellow. And I'm gonna start highlighting. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of white to the existing yellow greeny color that I have here, and slightly or gently apply that, almost glazing. Okay, again, just use your white. Some white here. Okay, here. This is just the preliminary highlighting. We will highlight it again later. For now, let's just do some preliminary highlighting. Also, I suggest that you observe how I'm doing this. Not just the colors that I'm using, but how I'm doing it. Okay. There are processes in painting that sometimes are hard to explain in words. So I suggest that you observe if you're painting along with me. So I'm using white. Right, like that. Okay. Okay, still white. Okay, some detailing. I'll excuse me, I'll be getting some yellow green. And just add this little detail. Okay, like that. Okay, a little bit of blurriness. Like a little bit of blurry effect going on. Okay, like that. Okay, you see, we just did some highlighting, okay? You're gonna get a little bit of yellow green here and there. I mean, apply it here and there. Okay, like that. Still, we're going to make some detailing. Okay, like that. I'm gonna add some green and white mixture. just to highlight the edge of the leaves, the edges actually. Okay, like that. I will use a much pointier brush later so that we get some details done quite neatly. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna switch brush now, since the brush that I'm using is quite big, so I cannot really go into those tight spaces. So I'm gonna use a flatter and more detailed brush. Okay, and let's go back to doing some detailing. So using some yellow green again, as I was saying, I'm just gonna highlight the edge or the edges of the Monstera leaf. Like that. Also here, don't forget about the bottom part of the leaf. All right, like that. And also here. I'm glad that it's clearing now. The skies are clearing. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, we'll definitely go back to some more detailing, all right? Okay, now I'm gonna get some green, but this time I'm gonna lighten it, and I'm gonna apply that lighter green. It's not too light, okay, but there should be some sort of dimension in the leaves to suggest folds. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black and mix it with the green. Make sure that it's quite dark, okay? And I'm gonna start darkening some areas to suggest the folds even more. Okay. So I'm applying some dark colors here and there. Again, to give our leaf some sort of dimension. Otherwise, our leaf will look flat and cartoonish. Unless you're trying to achieve that kind of look, but That's not the goal for this painting tutorial. I'm gonna do my best to make it look as dimensional as possible. Again, just use some dark greens. Oops. Okay, that. Okay, like that. Okay, again, some light greens. The rule is that where there is dark colors, where there are dark colors, there should also be light colors to suggest dimension. Okay, otherwise, if all are black and all are light, everything looks flat. Okay. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, some more light colors. So in order to lighten the colors, just use yellow. Nothing too complicated about the colors that we're using. It's just that identifying where the colors are gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna dry brush a bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw that line or detail on the leaf. Okay, just like that. Okay, here as well. Okay, more detailing here, just along the edge. All right, let me check. Okay, now we'll go further into detailing. Okay, before we do some glazing effect, let's start sketching where the water droplets are gonna go. So for that, I'll be using a pointy brush so that we get more detailed. All right, so I'm just gonna get my pointy brush. I'm just gonna wet my brush and I'm gonna use my black. Let's first identify where the raindrops are gonna go. This black will serve as the sketch for the raindrops. These are not actually raindrops, they are shadows formed by the raindrops. Okay, These are shadows. Okay. So you can do as many raindrops as you want. But for me, I don't want to overdo the raindrops because um, I don't like the look of too many raindrops. I don't know. If you like too many raindrops, if you're obsessed about raindrops, you can do as many raindrops as you want. Me, I just want balance. Okay? Balance and natural look. Also, remember to make your raindrops. Uh, the raindrop size is different from each other, meaning some are small, some are big, some are shaped like tears, some are like a little bit more round, something like that. Make them natural looking by making the shape quite random, as if it does not follow any particular pattern, because nature does not really follow a particular pattern. Nature is asymmetrical. Okay, we can go for more. We can go for more. Okay, I think that will do for now. We can always add later. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. And I'm gonna use the same brush, only that I'll be using a different color. So for the first raindrop or water droplet, I'm just gonna get my dark green. Okay, just get your dark green. Don't remove the sketch lines because again, they are shadows. So don't remove those sketch lines. Okay, again, just green. Okay, I'm gonna get some. Okay, what happened to my voice? I'm gonna get some yellow green here. Okay, okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, let's get some highlights. That the white will give it more life. So I'm just gonna dab onto my white and start highlighting the raindrops or water droplets, not the raindrops. I really think this is quite therapeutic. So if you're looking for something to do that is quite repetitive, excuse me, what happened to my voice? So if you're looking for something to do that is quite repetitive, I think this is good, you know. So I'm just gonna lighten. This one, I haven't darkened the green. So I'm gonna use some yellow green to further give it some highlights. Okay, just small dots to suggest some small droplets. Again, you can do as many droplets as you want. Okay, I'm gonna get my black so that I do some line here that I haven't done. The detail. Okay, also here. All right. Okay, yay! We'll be glazing it later, okay? Just have to wait. Okay. Again, you can go as many, or you can do as many droplets as you want. Okay, and I'm just gonna redefine this area using dark or black paint. Just gonna go ahead, along the line. Okay, just like that. I'm applying some greeny colors. And then some yellowy colors. So this will only serve as the highlight. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get my white to highlight even more, and I'm gonna correct the shape as well. Okay, let me check. Okay, really nice. Now I'm just gonna wait for the paint to generally dry. I mean, it doesn't have to be super dry, but I want it to be dry so that I can glaze properly. I don't want to, what do you call that? Smudge the paint. So I'm gonna get this brush, and I'm gonna get some green. I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt sienna. And I'm gonna just glaze over certain areas, okay? For certain areas that are already dry, I'm just gonna use my fingers to glaze over it so that the painting become one and coherent. Okay. Remember, this is glazing. You don't want to paint over what you just did. Okay, you just want to like varnish it. I mean, I'm saying varnish like in effect, because when we varnish our paintings, we don't really paint over our paintings. We're just trying to cover it or have some plastic cover on top of it, something like that. Okay. Also here. Also here. And also here. Okay, just glaze it. Okay, I'm gonna darken this part. Just like that. So again, just glaze it. Okay, now that we've glazed it, all right? Okay, looking good. Now that we've glazed it, we're going to go back to highlighting using white. Okay. So I'm gonna get my white. I wash my brush, but it's not super clean. We don't want a super clean brush here. We don't want to use pure white. We just want to use white more dominantly, like it should not be overpowered by any other color. It can be a little bit off, but not too pure white. All right. So I'm just gonna get my white. I'm gonna remove the excess water from the paintbrush. So it means that you're going to dab it onto the to a towel. And let's begin, and let's go back to highlighting. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow. You know what? I use a lot of yellow. But anyway. So I'm just gonna yellow some areas. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown. I want to add a little bit of browny color because again, I don't want this to be a super perfect Monstera, like super perfect, because nothing is really perfect. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown color. Of course, you don't want to make it super brown that it looks like a dying plant. You just want it to have that hint of color. Okay. Okay, like that. Some white. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, again, I'm just gonna glaze it a bit. I want to use some green. Okay, just all right, like that. Okay, now let's go back as one of our finishing touches. Okay, let's go back to the raindrops or water droplets. Okay, I just want to what do you call this, to re-emphasize them. Okay, and then the highlights for the water droplets, don't forget. Of course, some white. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. or some yellow greeny colors along the edges, again just to give it more folds. Okay. If you want to add more water droplets, you can do so. Okay, now using white, I'm just gonna make some little dots. These are super tiny water droplets that we don't need to detail so much. But there should be some suggestion of little tiny droplets. So I'm just gonna make this a little more green. Like that. Okay, let me check. All right, this is good. Wow, this is nice. Of course, you know me, I'm gonna obsess even more by highlighting the edges because we're almost done. So I might as well spend a few more minutes on highlighting it. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black. Okay, I'm just gonna get my black and try to fix the areas that should be black. Remember the background? So remove those unnecessary lines that you see on your painting. If you don't have that, then that's very nice. Very good, you were able to control your hand. Me, I cannot promise to have a perfect sketch line every time I do a painting, so I have to redo the background. I'm just cleaning the areas, trying to remove those excess paints. Okay. So using the same paint, I'm just gonna go and also apply little dots here and there, this time using black. This is just to suggest little tiny water droplets. Again, try to clean it. Fix those bald spots. I cannot say bald spots. Okay, and I think we're good. We're done, guys. We're done. So I'm gonna sign this now. I'm just gonna use white. I do have a lot of white here. So I think I'm gonna use this tiny space here since it's empty. And we're done. We're done, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you do this one as well. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below as well. And share this with your friends on your social media so that they know that I exist. So if you like this video and if you're painting along with me, please let me know as well in the comment section below. Or just let me know if you like this video. You don't have to paint along with me, but I really recommend that you paint along with me. So see you in my next video. I'll let you know. I think next time that I'll be doing a painting tutorial, I'll be in the apartment already, not in this hotel. I'll be going out to buy some stuff here in Taiwan. I'm just so excited to meet my classmates. Yeah, just to let you know. All right, bye guys.